My name is Alexander Kay. I'm Assistant Professor at Baylor College of Medicine and Associate Director of the Baylor Global TB Program. Today, on behalf of these co-authors, I'll be presenting an abstract entitled Optimization to dolutegravir-based ART in a cohort of virally suppressed adolescents is associated with an increase in the rate of BMI change and odds of becoming overweight. I have no conflicts of interest to report. Dolutegravir, or DTG-based ART, is non-inferior to efavirenz with respect to viral suppression and has lower rates of medication discontinuation due to side effects. DTG-based ART is recommended as the preferred first-line ART by the World Health Organization. However, DTG-based ART may be associated with increased weight gain in previously ART-naive patients when compared to other regimens, and this effect may be more pronounced in patients initiated on DTG co-formulated with TAF when compared to co-formulation with TDF, and also in females. The evidence is mixed on weight gain following the transition to DTG in virally suppressed patients. However, multiple studies have demonstrated an increase in the rate of weight gain following the transition to DTG from both PI-based regimens and NNRTI-based regimens. There is no data on the impact of DTG on BMI increases in adolescents. Baylor Children's Foundation Eswatini provides family-centered HIV care in Eswatini. There are currently 2,925 people living with HIV in care at the Center of Excellence in Babani. Adolescents represent 32% of the clinical population. We began optimizing adolescent and adult patients to DTG in early 2019 in line with Eswatini Ministry of Health guidance. Our research question was, what effect does the transition to DTG-based ART have on the rate of BMI change in virally suppressed adolescent patients? To answer this question, we evaluated a retrospective cohort of 605 adolescent patients who were transitioned to DTG. De-identified data was abstracted from the electronic medical record. Inclusion criteria were that the patients had to have been transitioned to DTG. They had to have been enrolled in care for 1 year prior to DTG initiation. They had to have evidence of viral suppression prior to DTG initiation, and they had to have a weight and height measurement before or after DTG initiation. Random effects linear spline models with a nod at DTG initiation were used to model the rate of change in BMI before and after DTG, and the odds of becoming obese or overweight as defined by WHO BMI for age cutoffs. We adjusted for sex, DTG companion drugs, previous ART regimens, and age at DTG initiation. The cohort was evenly balanced between males and females, and relatively evenly dispersed across age bands between 10 and 19 years of age. The majority of adolescents were on nevirapine-based ART prior to DTG, and the majority were transitioned to TDF and 3TC as companion drugs with DTG. This was a healthy cohort, and nearly all of the patients were WHO T-stage 1. This is the World Health Organization BMI for age chart for adolescent boys. There's a similar chart for adolescent girls. As you can see, the BMI increases normally throughout adolescence. There are subcategories of BMI z-scores, including obesity, overweight, normal, thinness, and severe thinness. On average per year, boys increase their BMI of 0.64 kilograms per meter squared per year, and girls at 0.55 kilograms per meter squared per year. In this cohort, we observed an increase in BMI before DTG of 0.316 kilograms per meter squared per year, and after DTG, this increased to 0.94 kilograms per meter squared per year, which was a significant difference. After adjusting for other covariates, adolescents on TDF and 3TC had on average a higher BMI than adolescents on ABC and 3TC as companion drugs, and females on average had a higher BMI than males. In a sensitivity analysis, results were similar when restricting the cohort to adolescents with at least 2 weight and height measurements before and after DTG transition. With respect to the risk of becoming overweight or obese, we did not see a change in the odds of becoming overweight or obese prior to DTG initiation. However, in the period after DTG initiation, adolescents had a 1% increase in the risk of becoming overweight or obese per day on DTG. However, these findings were driven by larger increases in the BMI change in adolescents who were categorized as thin prior to DTG initiation. In conclusion, the transition to DTG is associated with an increase in the rate of BMI change and in the odds of becoming either overweight or obese in adolescents living with HIV. The increase in BMI was more dramatic, however, in adolescents that were thin before DTG transition, and therefore the modeled increases in the risk of becoming overweight should be interpreted cautiously. These findings need additional study to understand the long-term implications and to identify risk factors for becoming obese or overweight after transitioning to DTG. Thank you very much for your attention. Please follow us on Twitter at GlobalTB or email me at alexander.k@bcm.edu.